to another exciting edition of the Dawson and Denise Show. I'm Denise.
I'm your guy, Dawson.
And we're here to talk about what's been blowing up the airwaves.
Wow. Alabama pastor confesses to having sexual relations with church members while he knew that he was HIV positive. Also, he came to the congregation, told them that he misappropriated some funds in the church and that he also had those sexual relationships on the property of the church and that he was also using drugs. And I think the kicker was with the deacons and the board of trustees, it was when they found out that he was having sexual relationships knowing that he was HIV positive. And they voted him out, and now they're going through court and all this kind of stuff to get Pastor Juan McFarland totally gone from the church so the church can move forward and heal. But what's your problem with this issue?
My problem with this issue is the people that knew he was a pastor, for one, and was sitting there having all this type of stuff in church, doing all this type of stuff in church. So now once he told you his status and everything, now we're in an uproar. But if he never said anything, if he kept it under wraps, would you still have been doing what it is that you were doing?
Probably they still would continue on. And I think we have to understand that some people, look at a pastor like a pastor is a celebrity or a superstar. They look at a power.
To the power.
Exactly, like he's God or she's God, and they can do no wrong. And in the case of Pastor McFarland, I think that's what happened. You had some women in the congregation, I think it was all women, who totally looked up to this man.
And that's another thing we don't even know, because a lot of people, women and maybe whoever, they're scared to come forth, because if you come forth, then you are giving yourself, you're saying, that you have whatever, or possibly could have whatever. But I hope that if you're not coming forth in front of your congregation or something, that you're going to go seek the medical attention, because it's no longer a death sentence.
Exactly.
No,
it's not.
Don't be ashamed in that sense, because we all make mistakes. But sometimes these are the prices you pay for power. And I'm sick of people.
Power that you abuse.
Power that you abuse, or power that you let the abuser use against you. You know what I mean? Because there should have been no way that you allowed this. They didn't say anything about him being married, so okay.
But still, like I said, when people look at their pastors like they're celebrities or like they have all this power, you have a lot of women and some men too. They get mesmerized by that, and sometimes they can let people take that power and cause them to do certain things that you look at the Jim Jones. How did all them people at Jim Jones get them somewhere and drink cyanide or Kool-Aid or whatever, Flavor Aid, whatever it was? How do David Koresh get all those people? Because people get in the cult
and not only that, how no one can sit here and tell me that the church didn't know this stuff was going on anyway.
He's been there for a long time.
He's been there for 20. So there's no this didn't just start.
Exactly.
So like I said, when all this other stuff came out, and I wonder what went wrong, because he was on drugs, because he probably was taking his medication, who knows. I wonder if something triggered him, because he came up on a Sunday, then another Sunday, then another Sunday.
Yeah.
So it was like, I don't know if it was a mental breakdown, like what happened that you finally said, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and each Sunday announce something.
I think maybe God could have been dealing with him, or his consciousness maybe was dealing with him, that he felt that these people he had led for over a decade were, it was like, hey, look, I got these people's, basically their lives are entrusted in me by God.
Or did he feel that he was bigger than God and he could tell him whatever and then nothing was going to happen to him?
He probably felt that way before he came to a point where he kind of got convicted, or to a point where he realized, what's going on? I've messed up totally, and I got to make this right. And of course you got to make it right when you've done this on church grounds.
Church grounds, AIDS, drugs, all of this, sleeping. If there was anything you could have done, he did it all.
He did it all. And I think a lot of people are upset by this, and some of the deacons we've heard on the news, they want
their church back. They really want their church back. And though I do feel empathy for them, but I don't for the women who allowed this. Because again, this is the real price you will pay for this man sharing. This is the real price you will pay for trying to seduce someone with power. I don't know each and every one's story, but I'm just talking about in general. These are the prices you will pay, and until you know and be held accountable for things. So we can't just blame him. It takes two to tangle.
It takes two, but like I said, when you have, and I don't want to say like people in the church, they can't think for themselves, but when you have a lot of women who are vulnerable and they see that pastor, he's a man with the power, he's a man who dresses well, he's a man who can get a whole congregation going. Some women are attracted to that, and some men are too attracted to that type of power. And it seems like their view of their leader becomes almost perverted. You know, they're not looking at that person as a bishop or apostle or an evangelist. They're thinking of other things. And I think you have to bring your mind under subjection or calm yourself down and say, oh, this is my leader. Leader may be married, or I shouldn't even be looking at my leader this way. Especially if the leader...
And my legs shouldn't be up in these pews like this. What part of that? What part of that didn't they get?
Oh, man.
What part of the program they thought that was under?
I know, you mean, but we have a lot of people going to church now for a lot of different things, and everybody's not there for so-called the word or to seek God or just to worship. People coming for all different reasons. So what the dude said, you gotta hide everything. You know,
again,
you gotta hide
accountability. That's my word for today. Accountability. These are some of the things that will happen.
Yeah.
If you don't protect yourself, and no one's perfect, no one on this panel is, but what I'm saying is you have to protect yourself. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is you know right from wrong.
Mm-hmm. And it's sad because there are still some people who are not coming out saying anything, who are just secretly going to get tested to make sure they are okay.
Or maybe not, and spread it somewhere else.
Exactly. And you know, there's guilt and shame, man. It's like, you know, that's why I tell anybody who want to take those positions as leaders, pastors, evangelists, don't let nobody push you into it. You got to be called to that. You got to take that serious. Anything with that, it's like you can't make a mistake.
Yeah,
and when
you're in charge of people's
church is
souls.
not forgiving.
And no matter how much we say, you know, you should go to church for yourself and know the words yourself, the truth is your pastor, some people, you know, do look to their pastor and they're in charge of their souls. And this is devastating.
It's very devastating.
Embarrassing to say the least. Alabama, I'm quite sure that town is so small. This is ridiculous.
It is. And you got to look at it too. It happens a lot across the United States and the world, but this is just one of the stories that got out. It happened something similar to it in Atlanta a couple years ago. That pastor is in jail serving the sentence for passing HIV out to two women in that
But
city.
won't talk about HIV in the church.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. The only pastor I ever heard, only two, and these maybe I shouldn't because they were on TV. TD Jakes talked about it. Bishop Noah Jones Church talked about it. Church I did down here, they really didn't want to talk about it, but this is why we should talk about it, because we got people in the church who
spread it,
doing any and everything just like other people too, man. It's real. It's real. It's real. It's real.
That's just our take.
Exactly. And like, hey, the 49-year-old virgin said, the guy who was a pastor, if you don't date, you won't fornicate. Don't date the pastor. Stop dating. Celibacy.
If you really love me, won't you tell me? I'm gonna TV Wonder on you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. So I wish all that church the best. Pastor McFarland, I'm not here to bash you, you know, but justice needs to be served because you know
better.
That was wrong.
You know better. No flat. Don't.
Till next time, I'm your guy Dawson.
And I'm Denise.
Take care of yourself and each other. Remember, your body is your temple. Take care of it. Don't allow nobody to trespass that.
Yeah, your body is your temple. Don't put your body using it in the temple. And then, anyways.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Peace.